In this particular segment, we'll be showing to you the basic stances. In Lightning Scientific Arnis, we have 3 stances: the straddle stance, the front stance, and the back stance. The straddle stance is done this way. The weight is evenly distributed on both legs, 50% on the left and 50% on the right leg. Now, basically, a straddle stance is assumed or performed when you wait for the attack on a ready position. So, you may do this way. That's the straddle stance. And this is the straddle stance. And if it strikes you here, you can block and proceed to straddle stance. That's the straddle stance. Now, the front stance is done this way. The weight is 70% on your front leg and 30% on your hind leg or rear leg. Now, a front stance is done every time you come into your opponent. Meaning to say, if he strikes you here, you block him and you close in to be able to ward him off or to block his hand. That's the front stance. And notice the hind leg is not straightened. It is slightly bent, just like the front leg. And you should not be able to see the toe of your feet, of both legs, especially on the front leg. So that's how you bend your front leg. Now we go to the back stance. Back stance actually is just the opposite of the front stance. Here, the rear leg is supporting the 70% of your weight, and the 30% is on your front leg. Again, you shouldn't be able to see the tip of the toe of your foot, no, of your rear leg. And again, the front leg is slightly bent. Now, the back stance is done in this. When you apply the back stance, it should be done this way, especially when it strikes you on a distance. And your objective is to move away from his attack. So that's the back stance. And so that you could also be able to give a counter strike. So that's the back stance. Now we go to the application or the drill of the stances. To be able to develop your straddle stance, you should be able to have a partner and strike you from different angles and try to assume the straddle stance, front stance, or back stance. We'll show you. I will call my student here. He'll be the one to do the strikes, and I will just do it slowly so that you'll be able to see. Okay, if he strikes me here, that's the front straddle stance. I will do first the straddle stance. He strikes me here, I block and assume the straddle stance. He strikes me here, then block, straddle stance. Now, if I want to apply the front stance, I will close in the gap, no? I will close in. Okay, if he strikes me, yan. This is the front stance. Strikes me here, yan, front stance. Okay, strikes me again. This is the front stance. That's the front stance. The back stance done this way. If he strikes me here, okay, I move back, no? Or lean back. The weight again, 70 and 30. Strikes me there, bang. This is the back stance. Strikes me here, bang, block. So basically a back stance is applied in a long distance, or as opposed to the front stance, it's not close, it's far from your opponent. That's the 3 stances of Lemma Scientific Arnis.